Hi everyone, it's going to be a bit of a marathon. We've come in Halki to this is the monastery. What? You can't really tell much of a monastery, but it's at the far end. What is it? The far end of the where we come in Halki, as far as you can go on the road. And like I say, I'm going to have a wander back. Don't know much about the history of the place. Obviously, it's basically a church at the far end, like they always do in Greece. I don't know why they build these things so far away, but they do. We've probably, I think it takes 2 hours to get here, and we've got to go. Let's say it's going to take us probably the same amount of time to walk back. So we've got a taxi up here, and typical English as well. I've left my other phone, in the taxi. But the plus side, there's only one taxi on the island, so hopefully I'll just get that back when I get back into town. So it's a fair old walk. Got plenty of walk with us, hopefully. Just try and see if we can look over there. It's looking top end of the island in distance. That's roads. That's the bottom half of roads. Keep obviously going on to the distance. I think there's Tilos on the other side. We'll probably get a look at that, but we've got to follow that road back now, out and up into the hills, back down. There is a castle, which I thought that was the monastery, but it's not. so we've come a lot further than what I actually anticipated coming, so we'll see how it goes. It's probably the wrong time. It's about midday and there's no shade anywhere, but we've got plenty of water and plenty of willing, so we'll just leave you with a picture of part of the monastery, and then we're heading that way. See you in a bit. Bye guys. Just showing that, I don't know if it's a lime kiln. Obviously there's a plateau right up here, just from the monastery. You can't really see it when you're up at the monastery. All the fields, another little church at the top. Obviously there was a lot of farming and a settlement up here one time, but then it was renowned for it. They did find a lot of copper. By all accounts, I think that's what Halki means, or it's the reason they think the island got its name. But obviously we've got a lot of settlements, farming, like corrals and things, where they used to obviously built in circles to put the crops in to shelter them from the wind. There's another one further up on the hill when we get over the top. I'll show you that. That's another one. It's a massive settlement, really. There's a castle around the corner. All of those people have actually been here and done this walk. That's off here. We haven't done it yet. We haven't not finished it yet. There we go. Just a little church there. Jackie's just walking towards a little church. So a bit of a panorama again, all the way around. Looking back at the little church there. And we'll carry on. See you again soon. Bye. Hi again, everyone. Now I've done about probably just over a mile, but we're just getting to the top before we go around the corner, so I probably won't see the monastery again. That's looking out over towards, I think that is the mainland of Turkey, and this in front of us is Tilos. That's his next destination. I've got one more night here after tonight. I should say, so obviously we've got tonight, about 2 nights, and then we're off to Tilos for 5 nights, so we'll do some more. Send some more videos from there for those few that watch them. Just looking at this, a bit like a valley of desolation. So I think towards a point, I won't like being up here at night, but the breeze at the moment is brilliant. Just taking a bit out of us, just that little bit of an incline, but about another maybe 6-7 miles back down those roads. So catch up with you again. I'll leave you with a view of Tilos. See you soon. Hi guys, don't know if you can see, just filming this because we've just noticed as we're coming round, obviously there's wild goats everywhere, or I think they're called Krikri, the nickname of everywhere else. 2 goats right up there. I don't know if you can just see them moving with my phone, I'm not sure. I'd zoom in, but it makes the picture even worse on the phone, so just leave it up there. And just panning round into one of the big ravines all the way down. And back just to see Tilos in distance there. Beautiful view. Just see in the distance, just see headland of Turkey over there. So no idea which is nearest one to that one. I know Bodrum's up that way somewhere over to the left. Alright, onwards and upwards. Hi again everyone, just looking back now. Little white, it's not a church, I think it's just a shepherd's hut there. We saw some, like I say, all bolted gates and everything, little path. But this is one of the settlements that's right on the top. You can see obviously little round fields, and one, I don't know if it's lime trees or probably a citrus tree. Obviously someone's still using one that's in use of how it used to be. Either that or they've just left it to show you what they used to do. Obviously that you'd had bigger fields like this one in front that you can't believe that there's rocks and everything, that they actually grew things, but it's supposed to be really, really fertile is the actual ground up here. Obviously tourism's taken over on the island, so that means nothing. And like up in Yorkshire Dales where we live, if you go everywhere, obviously from Magna Carta onwards, when that was drawn up, like this, look, dry stone walls appeared everywhere, all over England. There must have been armies of men all over. You don't think about it till you see all the dry stone walls and think where they go, up the hills, down everywhere, and all those dry stone walls have been built by somebody. And you look somewhere that when they go up hillsides and around rock clusters, same over here, obviously exactly the same, just building out of limestone. So leave you with that citrus grove, and we'll move on, just doing a bit of a drink stop in 2 minutes and then onwards and downhill. See you soon. Hi again guys, just on the top now, a bit breezy where we are. Some kind of little citadel here, I don't know just what it is. For a strange reason there is actually a board here. I'll just walk to this little part here. There's a little church over here, just tucked away, out of the way. So there it is, look, just another one of the churches that they had. And obviously all this area in this plateau, you can see, were all farmed at one time. As far as I know, there were 7,000 inhabitants on Halki, and over the years they've all moved away. In the winter time now, they reckon there's about 300 people that actually live full time on the island by the tourists. But all the people, like all the rest of the islands in Greece, which we know of, it's a bit like, I don't know, I think it's a bit like what the Asians do with like accumulate money. They send it back, and the infrastructure's been built on Halki by money coming back from people that have left the island. So we'll have a look at this board, see what it says. But you can't read it, sun will have absolutely faded this, I bet. There we go. The Hospitella Castella of Corio was built on the ancient foundation, distinguished by their regular stonework. Some of the work was carried out under Grand Master Pierre d'Aubusson, 1476, 1503, and his arms are mounted on the masonry by the gate. So obviously this must have been part of the old buildings in the Corio from with a little church attached down below. Oh, it's a flour mill, is this? So obviously it used to be, it's reduced in height, that must have been a windmill. So, according to what it's telling us here. Survival locals ground grain. Today Cassius offers a magnificent view to the east towards the castle, continuing westwards before the impressive decorated church of which is down there. You can see the castle there. That's where I thought we were actually going until we came right up here. So we'll just have a look. Just round the corner. I don't know where the track goes, but obviously that's inside one of the old windmills. We'll have a look. Oh, obviously there's the old steps up to nowhere, staircase to heaven. So there you go. On that one. See you in a bit. Bye guys. Hi again everyone, we've just popped round the corner now. Wind's become a little less. That's the old castle. Just realised that board that we've just read back there is a bit misleading. because that was talking about the old Cora, or the capital, which is over there under the castle. I'll show more of that because we're following the road down there now that goes all the way down. You can just see Halki Port right down at the bottom. Obviously the little islets dotted around and roads in the distance over there. But yeah, we've got to walk down there, but that would be misleading, that board, because we're on about in the 1700s. Obviously that castle must have been built in the 1700s where the Cora was, the old capital. So I'll show a bit more of that when we get round, but we've got to go right down there and round the corner again before we go around there and S-bend it all the way around. But stunning view from up here, and a little, like I say, little olive grove there basically as well. Just it must be tended by somebody. You can see all the old fields that were made in there, all the little circles, all in the little valley areas and plateaus. There is a track down there, obviously. It looks like it goes to one of the many secluded beaches if you can get there. Just remember on Halki, you can't hire anything. You can't hire mountain bikes, can't hire cars. It looks like some more locals can bring the cars with them, but like I said, there's nothing you can hire. I think there's one taxi, and we have seen another like minibus, but we don't know if it works for a hotel type thing, as apartments. Because I don't think it's allowed to be developed. I'm not sure it's a UNESCO site, isn't Halki, but there's no major plans to build anything, and this is just basically one road that splits off into two, and that's about it really. This is the main only road on the island. So everything else is down by the beaches and the main port. You can just see the distance. We're going to try and get to them either today or tomorrow. There's 3 windmills, old windmills on the hill just above Halki Port. I'm going to try and see with them. But yeah, making his way down there now. So I'll shut up waffling and I'll see you again soon. See you later guys, bye. Hi again everyone, I just thought we'd film this because we wondered, got this great smell coming from everywhere and all the way down the side of the road, and I thought they were just them brambly, thistly things, but that is thyme, or let's say whichever it is, positive it's thyme. That is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, just smell it on your hands, let's say. So yeah, just growing at the side of the road. Normally, like I say, most of any botanist or anybody else watching that actually knows what it is. And we see it all over in Greece. Well, we didn't know. We're just coming down and there's basically only us about in the breeze and you could smell something. And so I just touched that and gorgeous. So there you go. And just leave you with that little bit of useless information. And on to the Castro, which is over there. See you soon. Hi again guys, just thought I'd obviously there's a little small holding there, a few more fields, but just looking, we took the taxi up, so obviously if you ever come into the island and you think about walking and you're watching this video or you're glancing over it, obviously this is only the second part of the main hill which goes up to the top. We haven't got to the first bit yet, which is down by the Castro around there. We've got to go around the corner. I'll show you that. That's some S-bends like it is in the Alps on the next part. I'll show you that when we get there. But just remember, this is virtually, it's like I bet it's a 1 in 3 is this getting up there. So like I say, just remember walking up there and there's no shade. Like they always say on this island, there's no shade anywhere till you get down the other side. So you can hide behind the rocks as long as the sun's behind the hill, but there's no other shade. Take plenty of water if you're going. We've got plenty with us. We've got some hydration drinks as well. So I just thought I'd show this bit down here. So it's a bit of a small holding. Gary, Alex, if you're watching, if any of you watch this, he needs a good joiner, fellas. I can't help him much, but he needs a good joiner. It looks like he's got plenty of timber and all the gear and no idea down there. But there you go. Oh look, and Peugeot 106 abandoned down there with a cover on it. Plenty of abandoned cars. That's one thing I don't miss about Greece, and I can't understand it, is all these cars abandoned everywhere. But yeah, so if you come in, Gary, Alex, bring your gear. So yeah, he needs a new roof and he needs a few more buildings. So see you soon. Well guys, there we are, looking back up the hill. Obviously we've come from right up and beyond there. This looks like we thought we were. That's where we were going originally, up to this piece when we saw it. I don't know if it's somebody's house or a monastery or whatever, but it has a gate at the bottom, so obviously that's private. And we're just here. We've decided to nickname this. There is one in Rhodes, I think. We're trying to nickname it Ooh-Ah Corner, because you look round and it's like, ooh, ah, you've got the view there. So obviously we've got to go down this road all the way back down towards there and into the town. But we're just going round the corner and up to where Jackie is up there. We're going to go around the corner and we'll show you the old Cora. Another little church here, obviously. Seem to have the little churches everywhere. So yeah, just that bit of a view back towards Rhodes and over the port. We'll move on round corner. See you in a bit. There we go, there's his S-bins, a few more around this corner, down there. A bit of a wander. I've just noticed down there, it looks like there's a little recycling plant down there, or whether that's where they take everything. So yeah, quite industrious of them, but yeah, again, they have to be a bit more that way. And also, which I've only just noticed, didn't know that were there, there's like a little church with a massive graveyard there, obviously for the island behind the other side of where the port is. So, right, nearly there, onwards, downwards. Hi again everyone, just a little bit of an interlude there, just filming just a little bit where the core is behind us, but just to point something out now, how low down we are and where we've come from there. If you can see those trees there in that little, that's that, if you look back on this video, that's all you've been watching it, that's that little olive grove that we filmed at the top, and that's how far up that is. Like I say, where we are we're only about half the distance back down Halki. I never realised, I knew it was hilly, but I didn't realise it was this hilly. And then this round here, that's the old Cora there, obviously with the castle and still on top. So yeah, you can tell obviously the old buildings, because they're a little bit more formal from the 1700s. It's a lot more square as stone. Like I say, with all the little arrow slit, if you can see some of the little arrow slit type windows in it. Obviously they've still rebuilt a couple of churches, as they always do, very religious obviously. But yeah, so this was the old basically town on Halki, the main settlement. But yeah, always, I don't know why Greeks, when you see them, don't have one leg bigger than the other, because they always live on, all the old cars are on hillsides. Same with the donkeys, they should have two legs bigger than the other, because they're always going up and down hills. So yeah, it took them a few hundred years to actually decide to actually move down. But then again, they kept getting pirated and raided by everybody. So, but yeah, lovely tranquil areas. I never thought I'd see it as much as green on certain islands in the Deccanese. They're usually quite barren. But yeah, lots of olive trees and citrus groves. So shame there's a little taverna there that's not open, but I don't know if it's open at night. I will try and find out, because if you were sat there, I can guarantee you it looks that way, and that's where the sun sets. So I bet sitting, just chilling and watching the sunset over the sea there at night is brilliant. So that is, I'll leave you with the castle. Stop waffling, we'll move on. See you in a bit, guys. Bye. Just read the board there. There's a graveyard here with some tombs and everything, and they look quite modern, to be honest. Obviously a couple of gravestone tombs, and they've renovated that church there with like a little lime kiln, I think, at the side. But I've just read a board there just saying the town was basically started to be abandoned in 1830 when it was considered it was safer to move down after, because prior to that, obviously Turks had it. And the squarer buildings, obviously, that you can see, even though they look new, they're not part of the original. The original ones were a bit more tumble effect, which obviously goes back to the church that I pointed out that we saw in Camera Scala. So the oldest one with all the little rubbles must be the older one, not the newer one. So like I say, that has all the straight stone, which stands to reason really, because they didn't have mortar as much in them days and they just used rubble. So more dry stone walling. So there you go. Simon, who's a mate who's dry stone walling. A few projects for you there, fella. So yeah, a bit of going on, that'll keep you busy. So yeah, see you soon guys, bye. Hi again guys, I'll just listen to that, just if you can listen. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Yeah, but guess what's just been past us? We've not had anything go past us because there's only one taxi. What's gone past us? You guessed it, a moped going off the way up there. I'm positive I think they sprout out at Stonework and Greek Islands mopeds. Yeah, wherever you go, no matter what you do, there's a moped. You'll even find there's probably an abandoned and knackered one just in the roadside. Just showing you that up there. Obviously that's that place that I showed you had the private road to it, and we were up there not so long since. That was that little church up on the hill up there. We just had a bit of a look round there. So yeah, we're just on the S-bends. The Cora is just behind the corner up there. Around the corner you can just see an aerial that guides it there. I've just read on a board that from the sea you can't see it. So it was quite well defended. A lot of marauders didn't know it was there. From the sea on that side there, you mustn't be able to see it. So is it quite interesting that, because it's quite imposing on that rock from this side, but they couldn't see it. So, and we've just heard somebody sneeze, so it sounds like somebody must be around here and sneeze. Like I say, I bet it'd call an avalanche that round here if you sneeze loud enough. Right, onwards and downwards. Well guys, we're nearly at the bottom of the hill, just coming into more civilization. A few, what is it, bells there on the sheep, wild sheep. But just showing you that, like I say, what all tourists keep forgetting about that they don't understand. There's two sides to every island, and this is the refuge centre for Halki. You've got an area, obviously they have a load of little Piaggio, little tippers that go in and out of the streets, and obviously someone comes up here, they tip it, sort it. But just to look at all that plastic there and where's it going, there's obviously mattresses and stuff, there's shredders. Obviously they try to sort things out, doing the best to do that, but obviously there's two sides to every island. So yeah, just bear witness to, obviously that's what we all make while we're here on our holidays, obviously, and it spills over to outside. So they do the best, and when you, obviously there's a lot more which it blows out of there because of the wind and everything into the old olive groves and things. But just remember, for the price that you're going to pay for having your holiday down there, throwing everything away and keeping it in bins, it's got to be got rid of somehow. And obviously plastics are one of those things that we can't seem to get rid of very well. So yeah, two sides to every island. So I'll leave you with that one. See you in a bit. Oh, look there, I'm just seeing this. What a shame. There we go, look. A little Renault Extra van. I had a white one. That was my very first works van when I set up on my own. I'd call it Little Jeff because it had JF its registration. Probably mine, well, I reckon mine will probably be bean tins now, but that one still probably should be bean tins really, as well as everything else in that little yard there. But yeah, sad to see. But yeah, there we go. Bit of a nostalgia there. My old van, first ever works van. So we carry on down, nearly there, nearly at the bottom. Gary, Al, think you need it again. Think you need it. Get your gear, get over here, earn a fortune, I think. I can hear somebody cutting with a saw down here, so actually work going on. What they need to do is popping up here, mending that, instead of building something new there. Well, here we are back down civilization. Panormus Beach, I think it's called, or Panormus Beach. I'll check that, because don't quote me. I think it's Panormus Beach. Just walk over the top. A little quieter beach that's supposed to have the sunsets here, there, and everywhere. A bit more sandy type beach as well. So not as busy by the look of it as what it was yesterday. But I think we're going to just have a little sit down at the taverna and probably have a wander up to the windmills and get that knocked off the list, go past the churchyard, and maybe come back and have a dip in the sea, I think, after that. So yes, so see you soon, guys. Bye. Hi everyone, this is Pandamos Beach. Just stopped for a beer. There's a fair few sunbeds free on there, but then again, I'm not surprised. €15 for 2 sunbeds. And what is it? It's 12 on the other beach where we'll show you in a minute. Let's just showing you back up at the top up there. Only thing is, this is a lovely, easy beach for families. It's lovely, like greyish sand, and it goes out waist height for at least 200-300 metres. You can walk out, obviously you can see people there through the trees. You can walk out for age. It's really child friendly. Taverna's really nice, apart from the usual, which really grates me over here. Did it in Santorini. If you're not eating, they don't want you sitting near the sea. If you just turn up and you're going to have a few beers, they don't want you to sit near the sea. They want you to sit inside and just sit at a table, and I just don't get that. I really don't, because if you have 4 or 5 drinks while you're here, you're still paying the same as what you would if you had a meal half of the time. So I really don't get that. That really gets my goat. So unfortunately, when people do that, I avoid those tavernas again. We won't be going back there. Plus they shut at 6. This is known as the Sunset Beach. So if you come at night, this is one of the only beaches. Well, there's only about 3 main beaches on Halki. This is the beach for the sunset, because obviously it's up there and it sets over that way. But they told me the taverna shuts at 6. So if you're going to come over from the town, which is a 10-minute walk just up this road up there, over the hill, bring your own wine or whatever and something to sit on, because there's not much to think. And I'm sure though somebody will stay back and charge you another €15 for them flipping umbrellas, even if it's sunsetting. So you can just see the road snaking up there that we've come down, and the church on the top, and obviously it gets even high up to the monastery. Family there pulled up in a nice yacht just to have a bit of a swimming session. So I'll leave you with a picture of the yacht while we wander up to the windmills. See you in a bit, guys. Well guys, this is the churchyard I told you about. We could see from right up on the road as you're coming down. Must be the island's graveyard. Not going to go in, obviously. I'll have a bit of a film as going round. Heat's just a little bit more stronger now, and there's no wind, so it's just taking it out of us walking up that hill a bit, really. So, but yeah, just a lot of graves with flowers on, obviously. But yeah, coming up to a nice bit of shade under the trees. So as we walk into this, I'll see you shortly. Obviously a bit of a small holding there as well. So see you in a bit. Well guys, as far as I know, this is as near as we can get to the windmills. There was a road that seems to lead up and it's all fenced off. There is lights on them on a night, but it explains why you don't see anybody round or about them. They must be shut off for a reason, no idea. I presume it's health, it's safety, because you're wandering in people or what have you. So obviously there's nothing there, but obviously now we've come full circle and we're coming down now behind the port. This road must lead down. We've not been down it before, so obviously we're coming back down to his digs, which are down there. So this is probably going to be end of this one for the time being. I'll put another one on. I'm going to set off tomorrow and try and just go up to the castle. Funnily enough, you can just see the castle up there, perched right on the hill up there. We're going to try and get the taxi up to the castle, go up to the castle, up the steps, and then walk back down again. At least it's only like a 1/10 of the way to where we've been today. Obviously that one we saw up there with its own private road that goes to it, and you can see where the road goes over the top of that hill and up that ravine. So it's been a day. It's just getting to the back end. Don't know what we'll do for sunset tonight. We might go over to Pantomas Beach again, or we might just stay in town. But leave you with that picture and see you soon, guys. Bye.